Watch a movie, get inspired, give back, help a charity. It's time for a movie karma watch party. Hi, everybody. My name is Jared Milrad. Welcome to another Movie Karma Watch Party. This is a series that we're doing to connect with filmmakers of diverse backgrounds, especially those who are doing social impact work all around the world. Today, I'm really excited to have Rob Arnold on the line with us, a cinematographer, some really amazing work, to talk to us about his work and the types of projects he's currently working on and will work on. So, Rob, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just want to take a couple minutes with you, Rob, and learn more about your background, get a sense of what's going on in your life and types of work that you're focused on. So first of all, can you just give us a little bit of background, how you get into cinematography, and yeah, just give us a little bit of a background.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. I'll go back to like high school, how I kind of got into filmmaking as a
Yeah.
whole. I had a broadcast class for one semester, and then the second semester of this class in my junior year was about filmmaking. And so I realized that I wasn't amazing in front of the camera. So that when the second semester came around with filmmaking, I realized that like being more behind the scenes and less being, man on the street capturing, reports about what was going on in our high school was kind of more like an exciting,
Mm.
experience in my life. So that class required us to make a few short films, and I just fell in love. And we had a few guest speakers come in who were industry professionals, and I was like, oh, that's when the light went on. I was like, oh, I could do this as a career. And my dad was super encouraging in terms of like leading me and pushing me towards like whatever you do for a living shouldn't feel like work. You should love it. And so recalling my experience of making these short films, I was like, I love this. I could do this every day. This is what I want to do. So then I flash forward, applied to Columbia College, Chicago, and got in and started my, university studies there. And when I went in as an editor. But then I discovered quickly that being in a dark room editing for hours on end was not really what I wanted to be doing on the
Right.
filmmaking side. And then as a kid, like I had always like taken photographs. My mom bought me a Polaroid camera when I was younger, so photography was always in me. And then it wasn't until like my production one class where I shot a short for one of my classmates, and she was like, wow, you did a really great job, and was singing my praises. And I was like, yeah, I think this is what I want to be doing, behind the camera and the cinematography portion of it. It wasn't really until like I went to our student camera rental center and saw this billboard on the wall of like Kodak honoring a bunch of cinematographers, and realized there just weren't a lot of black female or male DPs. And I was like, I got to devote my life's work to becoming one of these guys, especially like there were no black DPs that were doing blockbuster movies.
Do you feel like
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like Hollywood is heading in a positive direction in terms of more stories about Black folks and people of color that is more fully encapsulating their humanity, or do you feel like it's slow and steady progress or not progress at all?
No, I feel like it's more slow and steady. I think
Mhm.
that's like a great way to describe it, because I feel like if it I feel like especially like now, giving all the protests and activist movements that have happened, I feel like all eyes are on Hollywood making a change. And I feel like I think this next chapter of Black films, or any sort of film that deals with LGBT or any other ethnicity or culture, is probably going to be more centered about you know, the lifestyles of like the mundane day to day things that various cultures go through, and I think less focused on what Hollywood is capitalized off of.
Mm.
Because I feel like how many more movies, like I said, can we see about slavery? Like there's too many. It's kind of like the Jewish community and the Holocaust. How many more movies do we need about the Holocaust? Like there's more to these cultures that have similarities, but yet still different or on the opposite side of the spectrum that can be shared. You know what I mean? And I think there's going to be a whole new wave, I think, of young and mature filmmakers to push those stories forward.
Yeah, and where do you think, Rob, those changes can happen? Like, do you think that it starts with the script and the types of opportunities that a screenwriter might get, a screenwriter of color, LGBTQ screenwriter? Does it start with this, the types of folks behind the camera? Is it all of the above? Like, how do you think more of those stories can be made and seen?
I definitely think it's all the above. However, I think it also comes down to the studios not dictating and constricting and confining the filmmakers who are trying to make these stories.
Mm-hmm.
If they stop, and I understand like it's an industry of generating dollars. It's a business. I understand, but I think if you can combine business and art, I think more of these stories will stop being watered down with, what Hollywood deems marketable. I'd say right now, like I'm drawn more towards like socially conscious projects that like reflect basically who I am as a Black man in society. Like any sort of character-driven pieces that talk about that and glorify the culture or culture is plural. I've been attracted to like foreign films for a long time. I've been attracted to like Black films that don't stereotype Black people in terms of like always dealing with some sort of traumatic experience such as slavery or police brutality or what have you. Like, don't get me wrong, those stories need to be told. However, like, the moonlights of the world are kind of like the mundane day-to-day things that like Black people go through as opposed to like, always reflecting on like 12 years of slavery.
Right.
So, I've been more drawn toward those, although most of my most recent career has been in network TV. And I don't get a chance to necessarily work on those types of projects. I'm constantly pursuing them like on the independent level. Because I know like pursuing them on independent level will lead to bigger budgets and, just more experienced filmmakers along the way, or just growing with my tribe that I've created.
Thank you so much, Rob, for taking the time for all the work that you're doing, for the kind of work you want to do, and love to stay in touch with you and can work with you as you climb in your career as well.
Of course, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Jared Milrad, the founder of Movie Karma. Thanks so much for stopping by our page. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends and family so we can continue to transform entertainment into action.